Let's be totally and brutally honest here. Sean Corbin makes Valerie Brudov look like Ivan Drago. It's as simple as that. He's beat what's in front of him tonight. He faces me. He's going to visit mental demons again. And let's get something straight. Come to me, mate. You come to me. Next time, ain't no judge is going to be needed. I'm going to do worse than Kovalev. I am going to do worse than Kovalev.
On Saturday night, mate, you better hold it together. I'm going to smash it near you to pieces, mate. I'm going to hit him. When he gets in the ring and we get 10-ounce gloves on, I'm going to smash his head to bits. I'm going to do it November the 30th against all odds. No matter what people say, the journalists write what you want. All as I'll say is tune back in and then look at me on December the 1st when I am world champion. It's as simple as that. I'm willing to die in that ring. It's as simple as that. I am willing to die. I'm willing to die, Zaddy. Is he?
I'll tell you what, Rapping Rob Kelly, you'll like this one. I was listening to Boxing Social during the week, as I tend to do from time to time. Some fantastic interviews over there. A friend of the pod, he's become a friend anyway. Anthony Croller was on. And they were asking him some questions, and Anthony, over on and Planet TV, took the conversation in a rather strange direction.
Today, I am delighted to be joined by former lightweight world champion Anthony Croller. How are you?
Before we start, I would like to point out why I have made yet another Madeleine McCann film. It is to expose the mainstream media and show to the widest possible audience that their purpose is not to find out facts, investigate stories, then truthfully report them. The mainstream media are used on a daily basis across all publications by an elite few for a range of nefarious purposes. Mainstream media publications are no more than information prostitutes who serve those with enough money or power to help them with their disgusting agendas.
All right.
Woo! Bob, has he been subscribing to your newsletter?
Oh my God, that's fucking amazing, man. Brilliant. And fuck Neil Sanders, by the way.
Another productive week at work.
Mr. Wellington.
Oh, that is Wellington classic. That is. Look, honestly, I said that before. Only about 12 people will get that joke. But if you know who fucking Richard D. Hall is, and you go Google a picture of him right now and see the way Crawler is looking these days, he looks a lot like him, and he makes a lot of good content. But apparently, they're coming after him now for his fucking. He's a bit of a Manchester bombing denier. We'll never forget.
Oh yes. Fun and games. It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt, Matty. Not on this card anyway. The Elkins Fight Night, Valid Boxing Promotions.
Fucking hell.
VPB. Forget about Joe Joyce. Here's Matt the Juggernaut Garrettson from Charlestown, West Virginia.
But wait a minute here. Wait a minute. Before Ozzy starts the fat shame and starts fucking gagging on these fucking graphics of Mr. King here in the middle. But look where it's getting held. 142 Robert E. Lee Boulevard. Anybody who know who is Robert E. Lee?
Yeah, Civil War general.
Yeah, fucking Confederate, wasn't he?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's what the South is. My stepdad is from a town that was 15 miles outside of Leesville. It's a very common name in the South. They're very proud of that man for some reason.
Yeah.
It's only $15 to get in. Here, Ozzy. What about the over-under on whether they'll have more people at this fight or Eddie's Montana Love card?
Montana Love. I'm going to say this fight. Put me down in the prediction league for this fight.
I mean, you'd pay tickets to watch Matt the Juggernaut Garrettson, wouldn't you? So without a doubt. I mean, he's fighting in his hometown as well. You know, Charlestown, West Virginia. You know, beautiful place. I mean, look at those tattoos as well. Fucking hell.
Amazing artwork.
That's terrible, isn't it?
Jonathan,
got those for art, honestly.
He's going to drop the hammer on him.
Look at the flag at the top right. It's like something off clip art, isn't it? It's fucking awful.
I'll tell you what, right? In comparison to Montana Love, at least some of the fellas on this poster look like they could draw flies.
Jonathan the Sniper Sledge.
Victor Antonucci.
I
tell you what, you've got a guy here called Suarez. His first name you can barely make it. Look, it's hidden underneath his fucking jacket there. But I think it's Marcos, it says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In the bottom left, you can barely fucking make out his name.
Look at Victor Antonucci there, Andy.
And Oz, you will be pleased to know at the very bottom, in very small print, tickets at the door or purchase online. So you can just walk up, guys, hand your card. You probably be able to sneak in the fire escape actually for fucking free money.
I'd love to know what the premium ticket is, and then the ringside. I wonder if they're chucking anything in.
Comes with Chinese food with the juggernaut.
It'll be a fucking seat at ringside and a fucking gammy of some toothless granny in the fucking toilet.
Fuck's sake.
Anyway,
I like the way your man's name is Benjamin I Drogo. I bet you do, pal. Brutalmente.
Honesto.
Ivan Drago. Conor Benn's team have moved to clarify they only began working with Dr. Usman Sajjad in August, despite the doctor appearing to suggest their relationship predated the first of his 2 failed drugs tests in July. I'm with Eddie here, Andy. No lies.
No lies, mate. Full transparency at all times. I think someone even managed to find a picture of Conor Benn receiving a Versace gift from said doctor. Yeah.
The said doctor.
Eddie said it.
The said doctor attended fight camp as part of Team Ben.
I don't know if this guy was working with Ben because he got popped. I think he was working with Dr. Joseph Adeo, not fucking Dr. Usman.
What I will say, Larry O was saying that this guy isn't involved. He was taking it very categorically as well, actually. So, don't know if he's just like been brought in to try and help, explain something. I don't know about that. I don't know if he's giving them something. I don't know if he's brought in for advice purposes only.
Yeah, I think he might have been brought in to mop up some mess or something. Yeah, I agree with that. To be fair, Anthony Fowler said that a while ago when it first broke. He knows this husband guy, and he said that he's been brought in to be made to look a scapegoat. And when you actually think about it, they probably did work together beforehand. But when did Ben fail that first test? Was it in June or something? June, July? Yeah. Which I think, they might well have done something a while ago, but then he's come back on the scene. Perfect timing.
The thing is, it doesn't make them the move look any less nefarious, no matter what way you look at it. Because if he wasn't working with him before he fucking popped, and then he starts working with him after, and this is the guy who's made the claims that anyone who fucking gets caught open is an idiot. So basically, he's fucking coming with a certain set of expertise, like Liam Neeson in Taken. Anyway, you know what I mean? He will find you and he will fucking pass your VADA test. So I don't know, man. It's fucking. It's not a PR flex anyway. Definitely not.
Yeah. Ben using the egg.
Speaking of boss, by the way, look at
that. Fucking
Ben using Conor Ben using the egg argument as well, where he said, I've eaten contaminated eggs. Spencer Oliver did an interview, and apparently you need to get that amount of clomiphene in your body. You would need to eat 30 eggs a day for a considerable amount of time. That's over 200 eggs a week. That is just, I don't think the human body could do that. Or you could do, but you'd be fucking permanently on the...
That's what I was saying. I was watching that documentary about the bodybuilders, and there's a bodybuilder 240, and he was on steroids as well. And in addition to being on steroids, he was eating 100 eggs a week. He's 6'2" and 240 pounds.
100, I think he said, mate.
He was 150 a week. And he was 240 and 6'2". And on steroids.
So Conor Ben will be eating another 60 eggs to get that amount of clomiphene in his body. So, and that's in comparison to a 6'3" bodybuilder who's on steroids as well. So yeah, I think the egg argument is no more, if that's the case.
I've been ignorant here, right? But see when I hear like 200 eggs a week, I'm thinking fucking fried egg. I'm not thinking about like Rocky just fucking cracking the egg open, putting a glass and fucking swallowing it. I'm talking about fried egg with your fucking beans and chips, or your fucking bacon, or whatever, that lawn sausage.
Scrambled egg.
Why the fuck do you guys eat beans for breakfast? I still never fucking understand that.
That's good shit, man. You're hungover.
Because they're fucking lovely.
That's gravy when you're hungover, like I'm telling you.
I had some this morning, actually, after a fucking nice hangover.
Well, that's food connoisseurs on this podcast now, and we owe it all to one bloke, don't we?
I know, I'm coming off the fucking pod every week, fucking starving, man. I fucking go making sandwiches at 11 o'clock at night, and
I'm getting Aussie an order for fucking Chinese the other week there. Wasn't Oz?
Yeah, that's true.
Jesus Christ.
Oh dear. Anyway, here's one for you, Matty. We had to ask on Halloween, who's the scariest boxer of all time? Nikolai Valuev, Sonny Liston, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Bernard Hopkins, Roberto Duran, Dillian White.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if it's anyone from that one.
That's a troll.
They're good troll accounts, aren't they? Then.
Yeah.
What about what about that fucking cat that fought Tyson and ended up in jail for murder?
Reggie Gross.
Was there two? Didn't Etienne go into jail for?
Oh, Cliff Etienne. Yeah, that's right.
So what?
He wasn't scary looking, man. He had bigger boobies than fucking what's his name, Bosch, didn't he? Fucking Clifford Eddie. They shook when Tyson hit him with the fucking right hand, didn't it?
It depends what I'm saying is scary. I mean, fucking that. Do you remember that Avtandil Kurt Sidsi who ended up getting locked up?
Yeah.
Cut 14 pounds of heroin, nice and easy.
Yeah. Well, otherwise, you just got to. Was it Lebedev who had that fucking horrible eye? I mean, that's a pretty good costume if you can mimic that, wouldn't you? And Enzo Macronelli had a couple of bad, busted, swollen eyes as well, which are a mess. But why the fuck are they posting stuff like that? Who's the scariest boxer of all time? I mean, fucking look at Hopkins on there. He looks one of the most placid characters you meet. Fucking hell, they're fucked. They're absolutely fucked. And we'll get on to them about some other thing that they were putting out as well. That Phillips.
We're here talking to scary. This guy's pretty scary, and the old Rick Glazer. he
kicked off at this though, because it's not true. So somebody quote, I think it was a pro boxer who tweeted this picture and said, "How the fuck has this guy got the deal?" And Rick Glazer replied to it saying, like, "This is completely false. Hope you're well." Not factoring in that the box was like for getting a job with BLK.
Oh, he's a character, isn't he? Tyson Fury going in against True Geordie last week after he was given a particular line of questioning Andy. The mask is slipping.
I didn't watch it, mate, because I've made a decision with myself. I wanted to actually. I'm not going to listen to Tyson Fury in the build up to this Chisora fight, mate, because he's just going to talk bollocks about it, and I just want to leave it. But I can't add anything because I didn't really listen to it apart from other people's comments. What happened again? Was the guy not get?
I think he asked him about the Chisora fight, basically saying it was a bit of a gimme, and Fury started calling him a dosser and a tosser and goodness knows what else, and then stormed off the call.
Well, I don't know if it's like set up or whatever and that, but considering Fury's last run of fights, you can take the White fight as well. But he said he's fought Deontay Wilder 3 fights, back to back to back. Then he's fought White, recognised as a top 10 contender, right? What's other options? Whatever happened with the Joshua fight, there's loads of blame to go about with that one. Usually says he's not going to be ready. We didn't want to see Wilder again at this point. So who do you want to see? Who's the options? And I don't want to agree or disagree with Frank Warren as such because I don't want to get sued. But he's got a point when he says, you get into the list, they're all kind of hooked up. Joyce is, forget his situation at this point. So I didn't really want to listen to it as such. I just want to see the fight over and done with. It's one of these fights where he wants to fight. Is he entitled to a gimme? I think so. He's fought Wilder 3 times, for Christ's sake. He's fought White. I think it's fair enough to have him, have a rush shaker, and then fight either Usyk or, dare I say it, maybe revisit the Joshua fight. But I'm not confident.
One person who's given a gimme, Andy, against Kiko Martinez, Jordan the Thrill Gill,
former
Commonwealth featherweight champion.
Who was it that posted that? Was it Ozzy? I think it was Ozzy that posted that in the chat the other week there.
He's looking well there, Jordan.
See, he was looking fucking far better than he was last week anyway.
Jordan the Thrill Gill there, everybody. Isaac Warrior Lowe's kicking off at the board. British Border Control need to have a look at this new rules brain scan and boxing match at medical or separately. And no cost around about £1,300 when are usually £500 for 2 different appointments, BBC. MRI scan is usually only £200 when you ring and say you not boxer. Isaac is the standard for brain tests, maybe, Ozzy.
Oh no! I mean, this is what I mean. Just unintentionally. I mean, you can't. It doesn't even make sense. I can't work out what he means by it. But yeah, I mean, look at the first reply. Colin Simpson. Good luck passing that, mate. And I think the next one from somebody else was, "This is the reason why brain scans were brought into boxing for you, Isaac." And he just openly mock him. He's not had a good time recently, has he? He got scammed out of £250 for some Newcastle tickets.
That's right.
He sent some money to some guy to to buy the tickets, and then
This
he just
guy.
deleted his. No, not. But he just deleted his account and took the cash instead, and you're just thinking,
That's bad
fucking hell.
form, yeah. That's bad
It is
form.
bad
It
form.
is bad form, yeah.
See,
But,
see his last 2 fights, though, mate. He's took a fucking hell of a lot of punishment. A hell of a lot of
oh
punishment.
no,
especially
he's
that
on
Nick Paul fight.
he's on the Fury undercard actually.
Oh,
Is
really?
He's on. Is he? No, he can't be.
Yeah,
If he's not passing brain scans, he's not going to get licensed in the UK.
he'll they're not saying he's gonna. They're saying he'll fail it because I mean, just look at that sentence. That's why he's just a complete idiot. There's nothing actually wrong with him. They're just saying he's basically thick. That's why.
You're bossy new. He started looking like him, I thought, the more he went on last night.
Mate, he's still in hospital, for Christ's sake. But no, mate, low, Jesus Christ. Good luck to him.
Good luck to him indeed. Jake Donovan, here we are, ahead of your time. Rob, Jake Donovan said to me, the most revealing part of Bud's Instagram live was his admission or claim that neither he nor Errol pay for pay-per-views, that they, quote unquote, got the fire stick for that. Hashtag Spence Crawford. Hey, Rob, the fire
We all knew that the day was coming where a fire stick brought down boxing pay-per-views, and here it is, like, confirmed by Terrence Bud Crawford.
Spence as well, apparently.
Can I ask
Spence
you guys?
agreed that he has the fire stick as well. He's not paying for shit. He's a multimillionaire. He's like, fuck that.
I mean, he's able to write off fucking Ferraris, man, for fuck's sake. Come on.
Can I ask you guys an honest question here? If you stole a sandwich from a restaurant, would you be entitled to complain about the quality of that sandwich?
I've just been it if it was shite. I'd just like one bite and spit it out if it was shite.
Would you? Honestly, would you be entitled to complain about the quality of the sandwich?
No, I would just bin it. I'll just throw it and walk on with my day.
Okay, I'm just wondering why you guys complain about boxing.
Because we didn't get.
I wondered where you were going with that.
Because the fights we never fucking get. That's why. This is a prime example. These two, he's cheating the sport and robbing for the sport, wanting fucking guarantees and hedge fund managers putting money up, and we still fucking can't get it.
I think the fucking fire stick is the least of fucking Terrence Crawford's problems. After actually, BLK Prime is the company. So the guy that's put this deal together is a guy called Desmond Gums. Who's Desmond is an esteemed movie director, and Desmond's claim to fame is directing Jamaican classic. I think it's what's it called? He's known for such features as Hacienda Heights, Straight Out, Don't Blink in 2007, and a big Rude Boy. Is the film starring a 2003 Jamaican classic about a young man called Julius, starring the likes of I think Ninja Man is in it, a couple of famous Jamaican artists. But anyway,
Man, who's that?
So a legendary Jamaican dancehall artist. But I'm saying that to say this, just because I like Jamaican dancehall, I don't think fucking a fella who directed some movies in 2003 and 2007 is necessarily the man to take boxing forward and make the fucking Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. And I think Errol Spence maybe had some fucking reasonable doubts over where the 50 million was coming from. So look, I don't know. I don't want to hear shit from either side on this. I just know that the fucking fight's not happening. And between the two of these dummies, Crawford doesn't sound great on the Instagram. He's keeps on saying, I'm my own boss now. I'm my own boss. Well, he knows fucking he's not his own boss. He's with Al Heyman, isn't he? Like, so is that a flex? I don't know. The guy's contractual situation where they keep fucking saying that you're your own boss. Well, it's not getting any closer to the fucking fight. And BLK Prime dissolved in the UK at the end of October. So I don't know what that says. And this guy Desmond Gums is the director of that company. So I don't know what that says about the future of the BLK Prime brand. Especially they've nailed their fucking latest star to the fucking colours. Adrian the Problem Broner making a payday return on the BLK Prime format. He thanked God for a good 5 minutes for giving him an opportunity to be young, fly and flashy again. He's not going to be looking for $12 anymore, he said, thanks to his main man Desmond, who's coming into boxing at a unique time where he can really make a statement. So, things are looking good for BLK Prime.
I heard contrary reports to that, and I heard Broner actually pulled out because he thought it was put on by BK Prime and that he was going to get a hamburger out of the deal. And now that's off.
Poor AB.
But AB's back in the money, man. He's with BLK Prime. They're getting these 10 million guarantees for Avanesian and fucking whoever agent. Broner hasn't even got an opponent yet, but he's getting paid, and he's going to be in attendance for the Avanesian fight because he's back fucking living that life. So I don't know, man. The fucking whole thing was an absolute shambles, but it was hilarious. I was like watching the clip, but I hadn't seen it being clipped about the fire stick, and I was watching him say it in real time, man. And I was on the deck laughing. I was just thinking about me and Oz fucking leading the charge. Me, Oz, and Bud Crawford at the fucking benchmarks. That's who you need to follow. Not that I have one. I wouldn't fucking go for one.
No,
it's all alleged.
Not at all.
My signal was contaminated.
Bit like mine.
I think that was your piss test, Rob.
Get the B sample out there. Kurt P. Matchroom's US show next week, Love versus Spark, is on course to be the worst selling Matchroom USA in their history. They've had to reconfigure the whole seating map because less than 5% of tickets have been sold. We'll post screenshots later, says Kurt P. Oh, thank you very much for the screenshots there. What else have we got here?
Get a life, Kurt B. For fucking exposing Matchroom shows selling fucking 500 tickets. Get a life. Who do you care?
Oscar de la Coco.
Here's a couple for Oscar. First of all, people were going in on Oscar. He was on about exposing the truth. Idea is coming up next. Yes. And Dante Hall says, bitter I see. Oscar says, what do you mean bitter? Don't you assholes want to see the fights happen? I guess you don't know shit about boxing, you casual fuck. And then he went on here with his with Mrs. E.T.
I'll tell you right now, I posted that to you in the WhatsApp. I'm sitting myself. There's going to be people when they're walking through the temple there. I bet you any money there's people walking past him, looking at her, thinking, "Why the fuck's he got a mannequin with him?" State that.
I think that looks like. I thought that picture was straight out of the metaverse when I saw it. I was like, "This is the future. This is the Oscar future I imagined."
Somebody's saying that's Khan's wife. Oh no,
oh, that's terrible. Joe Cordina getting in on the act as well. Look at the presenter on the right hand
I've seen him as well. Eddie, what was his name? I forget his. I was going to call me Eddie Adelepo.
Eddie something.
Eddie Akinboye.
Joe Cordina looks like one of the people that was chasing down Indiana Jones in Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Shortstop is in the background there. Short round, not fucking shortstop.
Eddie looks like he's found something there. He's like disgusted, like he's just seen something. Like, what the fuck?
Well, the guy fucking interviewing looks like he's been goddamn possessed. Jesus fucking Christ!
It's amazing what a screenshot can do. Make you look like a fucking monkey. It's brilliant. Oh, they date everybody. It's fucking brutal.
Joe, burn him. Wake him up. Burn him. He'll come too.
Talking of screenshots, the zone bots have been hard this week. First of all, it all starts now. Dixon Cider, hashtag Conor Ben is a drugs cheat. Hello, Dixon Cider, hashtag Conor Ben is a drugs cheat. We would be happy to help you. Please send us a DM at the Zone Boxing Help. We look forward to your message. And that was preceded, I believe, Andy, by Craig for Patriots. Hello, proud to be British. Hashtag defund the BBC. Hashtag stop the dinghies. We'd be happy to help you.
Honestly, they're absolutely fucked. What are they doing? You can't. In this day and age, you don't need to be having like automated responses which do stuff like, we've seen it for years from where it just gets exposed and I mean, fucking. Hashtag stop the dinghies.
I'm surprised I've not said fucking bring the Navy in. Fucking shoot them in the water. Fuck's sake.
We'll respond to your query as soon as possible.
Please allow for amazing that someone got something like that, fucking Jesus.
Isn't it amazing that someone makes money to do that for them?
A global platform is hashtagging stop the dinghies and hashtag defund the BBC.
All we need was Jimmy Savile.
The thing is, though, do you know what? If I'd have been quick enough, you could have just changed your name to anything, couldn't you? You could have just replied and said, like whatever, any sort of name. Yeah, you could have literally have your name as like hashtag Hearn is a wanker, and then go like, hello, hashtag Hearn's a wanker. We'd be happy to help you. That's all it is. It's just an immediate response.
Hashtag when's Eddie Hearn going to answer some real questions?
Go on, Porky's Corner.
What does this stop the dinghies reference? Are there like fucking immigrants showing up
Yeah,
in
you
dinghies?
Yeah,
Exactly,
Matt.
What can I get involved in that
Leave it.
for? Jesus
Don't
God.
even talk about that now. Fuck's sake, man. There's chaos kicking off.
Oh dear. Anyway,
Fucking hell.
there's one for you, Andy, as well.
Aye.
The Wizard of Oz. I'm not 12 years of age. I'm not going to fight Eddie Hearn. He always offers everyone for a fight, doesn't he, Eddie?
Oh, mate. It's been good content this week, obviously. Fucking Eddie's now put the racist tag on Simon Jordan. I don't know if there's going to be a kind of quell of the fires here a little bit.
I've seen that, about he got Ramla Ali on the thing, didn't he? Because he called basically the employees at Matchroom like a bunch of refugees off the Wizard of Oz, and she's jumped up now, said she was offended by the term refugee, and offered Simon Jordan the opportunity to go volunteering with her and stuff like that. Typical deflection tactic.
Well, like, Oz is not a real fucking place. He's a real person because he's on the show with us. But like the Oz land is a mythical land, isn't it? Of fictional characters. So
that was
Eddie is fucking very upset about this and how his staff are being treated as well. And he wants Talksport to retract those comments.
Yeah,
so,
I'd love it if Jordan called his bluff and said, "Right, we'll get in the ring now," because Hearn would fucking soil himself at the thought of that. He'd get Tubby Frank to go.
Nah, he wouldn't. He's got the ego. He wouldn't fucking be that. Saying that, look at that neck. Look at that neck, though. It's like fucking Klitschko being up with that uppercut of fucking Joshua, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's all he's got to do. Land an uppercut, fucking Simon.
He
Jordan.
put his mate on there. We Frank Smith.
Yeah, I was going to say, mate. I reckon Eddie's packing glass. I reckon Simon Jordan, big right hand on that jaw, and it'd be curtains for him.
See that picture, Steve? All I can think about is we were like literally like fucking feet away that Scott Quigg Carol Frampton way in, and fucking he's trying to calm him doing that. He's like, "Fuck you, you lanky prick." Carol Frampton was fucking brilliant. That's how you deliver it.
He's lost timber, hasn't he, Eddie? He looks like he's an extra on Come Dancing.
He's looking.
He's lost a hell of a lot of weight actually.
Stress weight.
Yeah,
he's tagged on the BBC.
It's almost as if he's been under pressure constantly.
He's been doing a lot of flying, a lot of travel miles, so that takes it out of you, Fucking hell, he's deadly.
Right, what we on to now? Shit.
Get a life, us on Bellew of the Week.
Right, Andy, any nominations from you other than the ones you have already sent me?
Sonny Bill Williams got knocked out off an MMA guy, actually, just to kind of like might have a wee laugh at that one. Zurdo as well, he said post-fight, he said he thought he'd done enough to win the fight. So,
Oh, yes, that I said before to you, Andy, that StreamYard must be cutting some of these. That was on it, and one of Shannon Courtney being in a magazine as well, that disappeared. So, yes, he said afterwards that he thought he did enough to win the fight. I don't know where that's gone. You're quite right, yeah.
I don't remember him, actually, but I don't know if you guys do, old heavyweight, Goran Gogic. Anybody?
Oh, the drug dealer guy.
The drug dealer, aye. So, 43-year-old. He was charged by the US Department of Justice for trafficking 22 tons of cocaine. They seized have a street value of over $1 billion. He was arrested on Sunday night at Miami International Airport while trying to board a flight to Zurich. So, I don't remember him fighting much, actually, back in the day, but he's looking at, what is he looking at? 10 years in prison.
Sounds like you wouldn't want to give out a lot of his work on tick, you know what I mean? Want to be Owen Gorgo Gagic, the fucking heavyweight drug dealer, some brain. I would like it.
The charges stem all the way back to 2019. 22 tons of cocaine. Yep, 3 commercial cargo ships seized in Philadelphia's Parker Avenue Marine Terminal. Yeah, so he's probably just a small fish in a very big syndicate, basically. So he's looking at least 10 years.
Oh, hang on.
Who's
text
dead?
Messages coming through here, Andy. Mrs. Wellington says, "Wrap it up, lads." That's what she just texted me.
Fuck's sake.
Get to your bed, Steve. I'll just pass it on then, mate. On you go.
Matty, anything from you?
In the name of for the good name of Mrs. Wellings, I will give nothing this week. Help her out there.
Ozzy will be the same.
Anything from you, Ozzy?
Well, we've got to nominate the main man himself, haven't we? Chinese John. for his latest escapades on social, without a doubt. he'll be getting a nomination every week simply for releasing the video from where he broke that rattan chair, and he didn't even move. Yeah, the wicked. That is some effort. That, by the way.
Never spilt a drop, mate. Never spilt a fucking drop either. That's a legend.
Absolutely mad. But yeah, without a doubt, Big John.
Big John. Big
John Fisher. Rob, any from you, please?
No, I thought the whole fucking Terence Crawford and fucking Irish was fucking brilliant. Like, absolutely fucking brilliant. Like, the whole fucking reason the fight can't get made is a fucking fire stick. So that was good. Adrian Bronner's returned to beat just this whole guy, Desmond. What's his name? Desmond Gums. I want to see how this plays out. With Desmond Gums is now at the helm, so boxing hasn't been enough of a shit show. Now we have the fella who directed Rude Boy the movie in the mix, thrown around 50 millions like they're nothing as well. I think one of the pro Heyman guys on Twitter went and found the registered office address of the headquarters in Belize, and it's just some fucking supermarket. It's not like a fucking real office or nothing. Like, so yeah, I don't know. Like, they video of footage, like there's just people walking around and all. Like, there doesn't seem to be much business going on in there, so I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I thought that was good. And obviously the fucking Rich Planet and Anthony Crawler fucking clip. We have to see that again before we wrap it up, lads.
Oh, yes. Right, quick recap then. We had the Juggernaut for the Elkins fight night. We had Conor Benn lying again. We had Frank Smith and Eddie. We had the scariest boxers of all time. We had the scariest promoter of all time. We had True Geordie. We had Jordan Gill, we had Isaac Warrior Lowe, we had the Fire Stick, as Rob mentioned, we had Matchroom selling out, we had Oscar and Oscar again, and Joe Cordina, we had Simon Jordan, and we had Dixon Cider, Conor Benn's drugs cheat, and hello, proud to be British, #D from the BBC. Stop the dinghies! Who are you going for, Andy?
Oh, mate, it's between that and your fucking classic there, Anthony D. Hall and Anthony Crawler, mate. I'm gonna go.
What's that noise? What are you, Matty?
Right, mate. I'm gonna go D Hall, mate. I'm gonna go D Hall.
What for Richard D. Hall? Matty, who are you going for?
I'll go with the DAZN auto response. I was just trying to put the music on to move people along, just like in the Grammys and the Oscars.
Well, I can hear footsteps on the stairs now, Ozzy. Come on, quick, who are you going for?
Cut off the music. You're going to get us thrown off YouTube, you fucking nut.
DAZN as well.
DAZN as well. Yeah, I'm going for DAZN as well. I think he'd be all right because it comes with StreamYard, Rob. But who are you going for? I'm going to fit the DAZN.
Richard D. Hall and Crawler for the fucking, because I want to see it again.
Nobody gives a fuck about the licensing of Dance Pop and Feeding the Ducks.
Get over it. That was 2 minutes ago. You're still bringing up old shit. Get over it. Get over it.
Congratulations for episode 499 to the Stop the Dinghies, defund the BBC, to the DAZN Autobot, and the Richard D. Hall. Congratulations to you for winning the Bellew of the Week. I will play it again, but just before we do so, thanks to the Super Chatters, David Palmer, Joe Burns, and Steve Anderson, who've all thrown in money tonight. Thank you to our new Patreon subs as well, Luke, who has returned to the fold alongside Boren, BKK, Sakon, and shout out to James Mahoney for sticking with us as well. Just before I hand back to you, Matty, we'll listen to Richard one more time before I delete it.
Today, I am delighted to be joined by former lightweight world champion Anthony Crawler. How are you?
Before we start, I would like to point out why I have made yet another Madeleine McCann film. It is to expose the mainstream media and show to the widest possible audience that their purpose is not to find out facts, investigate stories, then truthfully report them. The mainstream media are used on a daily basis across all publications by an elite few for a range of nefarious purposes. Mainstream media publications are no more than information prostitutes who serve those with enough money or power to help them with their disgusting agendas.